What up, bros? This is Kyle, bro. It's late, but we making cookies, so we can't be too upset. So today I'm making cookies, and I have to say, my cookies are lit. I mean, I've cooked these cookies to the point where, like, I've accidentally left them in there twice as long as they're supposed to be, and they still come off soft in the center. So, like, I don't know what y'all be doing, but my cookies be lit. Now, mind you, I'm gonna leave the recipe down below. I kind of just want to cook and stuff so that y'all can just, like, chill. But know that there is a recipe, and know that I did not make it up. But I also don't know who to credit. My mom found the recipe, and she was never, oh, come on. Are you serious? So my mom found the recipe, and wow, you know what? I guess we just gonna put you in a bag later. So my mom found the recipe, and she didn't know where she found it. She saw it online. She wanted me to try it. It turned out really good, and she was never able to find it again, including in her history. So if y'all know whose recipe this is, y'all let me know. But I can't figure it out. So until I can credit them, I'm just gonna say, this is what I do. But it is somebody else's recipe. I just found it, and I be putting stuff in it, and I'll be loving it. So let's get into it. The first thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna soften some butter, because we don't just have butter sitting out on the countertops like other heathens. So we're gonna have to soften that butter, and we're gonna get some eggs, but pretty much else we have everything ready to go. Okay, so while the butter's going, we can go ahead and start measuring stuff out. And what I decided that I wanted to talk about while I was doing this is basically just confidence. I want to talk about confidence because it's been something that's been on my mind as of lately, as an idea to explore. So I'm just going to talk about that with y'all. So confidence, to me, as most things in life, I feel like has changed over time. I think I used to be overly confident, and then I got to a point where I was not confident at all, and then I became confident again, and now I'm kind of in between. So I feel like I'm at a point in life where I know what I want, I know what I have to do to get it, and there's like work involved that I have not done before, but it's not impossible, and it can be done, and I will do it. But there's always like this like underlying looming fear of failure, and it's not because I don't think I can do the things that I set out to do. I know I can, but my confidence has changed so much over my life, and I feel like a lot of that has to do with the people that I am around. There are some people in your life that are just going to try and make you feel that you are not as capable, as smart, as important, as valuable as you actually are. And I think a lot of that was coming from outside forces for me. And because I was getting those influences, it ended up making me feel like I was not able to achieve the things that I wanted, even though there was literally nothing holding me back. And so I really had to try to remind myself of things that I thought I had known about confidence, but I had to relearn that my confidence has nothing to do with somebody else's opinion or vision of their value of me. I have to find my inner power, my inner strength, my inner desire to do what I want to do and how I want to do it. And I can't let other people get in the way of that. And so a big part of that for me was doing this channel, because it's just something fun to do. I feel like I haven't gotten to do as much media stuff as I wanted to do prior to now, simply because I wasn't making myself do it. And so this is a big part of me trying to get to where I want to be, as far as getting the confidence that I have in what I know and what I can do back. This butter, is she ready? Some of this became a little too liquidy. That's fine. It's cookies. It doesn't have to actually be science. I feel like cookies is one of the few baking things that isn't or it does not have to be like perfect science. You just need to make sure you don't do too much of anything. I think that's the biggest thing. But yeah, like my confidence has definitely changed, and as upsetting as that was at first, it's also kind of relaxing in a weird way, because I have to force myself to kind of just step back and step outside of myself and say, you know what, Kyle, you can do it all. You can literally have everything that you want. You can do everything that you want. There's nothing stopping you but you. And it may not happen all at once, but it will happen. You just have to make it happen. Hand mixer. Ooh. So we're going to creme all of these stuffs together. Oh, wrong socket. Okay. We're going to creme all of these together and make it happen. Party. Okay. I forgot what happens next. No, I didn't. Okay. Oh wait, I already took the eggs out. Okay, so we're gonna do an egg and we're gonna do one at a time. But yeah, as far as these that's not gonna work. Oh shit, that worked too well. Okay. As far as confidence goes and like learning myself and doing better at doing stuff, how do you build your confidence? How do you structure your life to where you are making a effort to build your confidence back up? One of the easiest ways for me to do that is doing stuff that I just enjoy. I don't have to be good at it. I don't have to be bad at it. I just have to like it. And a lot of times that's something very simple. For me, things like painting, where I don't have to actually like make something look good. I'm just doing it for fun. I have an idea, I try it out, I see what works, and then it does, without making myself feel the pressure of like, this has to be perfect. And I usually like hang my art up kind of everywhere, because eventually it does turn out good. I just have to go in there and do it. And then sometimes I don't like it, but I'm like, I'm just doing it to like relax and be fun. It'll be fine. So like finding things that you don't necessarily care about messing up is usually an easy way to get started on finding what you need to do when you do actually care about it and how not to mess it up. Oh, she's so And then another thing that I find really helpful to keep me confident is learning more about things that I don't already know about the thing that I want to do. Like, I have been singing since, Jesus Christ, probably since I was 4 years old, but like doing it as far as like being judged for it, probably like 4th grade, being in choir all throughout school until 10th grade, and then I did musical theater, so I was still singing, and then I did music again when I was going in college. So like I've always been doing it, but like reading more about like what artists that I like are doing, what new things are happening in the industry, what new things are happening in the technology to make things happen in the industry. All of those things give me more confidence, because the more that I know, the more power that I have over how I can conduct myself in a way that will push me towards those things that I want to be good at. On my body, on my fingers. All right, 2 eggs in, Liddy. And then something else I do for myself to like boost my confidence, which is kind of, I don't know if it's weird, but it's what I do, and I don't think other people really think to do this. But instead of like going out and trying to like show out, like a lot of people will say like, I go and like put on my best outfit and then I go out and strut around town. What I do when I want to be confident is I leave my ass the hell alone. I put my ass in the house and I mind my business, and I don't talk to nobody. I don't think about nothing. I go and recenter myself in who I am, because if I am not confident in like who I am as a person, how on earth am I supposed to exude confidence to other people when they see me out on the streets? So I have to like sometimes, even though I'm a very extroverted person, I love talking to people, I love hanging out, I have to make myself be in the house and be a homebody and do what I gotta do. And sometimes that's just me like doing laundry, getting stuff done around the house and not thinking about whatever it is that I'm not feeling confident about. And sometimes that's me working on it internally by myself. But what I don't need to do is be around other people so that I seek their opinions and their ideas and their validation, and just focus on what's gonna make me proud, what's gonna make me happy, and through that finding my confidence again. So I've been doing that a lot lately, which honestly it's been a lot easier since we've been stuck in the house. And so the only difficult part for that for me with being in the house is that I work at home. So it's hard for me sometimes to separate my space as far as being at work and being at home, because they're literally the same thing right now. So I had to like make my space as separate as possible. And at first that was very difficult, because when I first moved in, gosh, I had, let me recount the steps. So I got my apartment. I had a week of it where it was mine, but I wasn't living here, and then I moved everything the next weekend into my apartment, including my couch, which I had just gotten over the weekend. Then I stayed in my house for a week, and then the pandemic started. It started, but we as a company started working remotely from home. So there was only 1 week where I was living here where I was not working at home. And at that point, it was either work on your bed or work on my couch that I bought so that it'd be comfy enough for me to go to sleep on. So it was like, there was no separation from work and home for a good long while. So now that I've got that, because I've made my second bedroom more of an office space, I have other spaces in my house where I can try and reclaim my confidence as an individual outside of work. So that's always been really, really helpful. All right. And yeah, so I be in the house by myself, minding my business, doing my thing, and that allows me to recenter myself so that I can be confident in what I'm doing. What was I doing? I don't remember. I needed a measuring cup for the baking soda. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, because it's a teaspoon. It's a teaspoon. See, now I gotta refer to the directions. Okay, so this is the part where I always get less confident about knowing this recipe, because it gets into like the small things. Oh my gosh, which is an excellent segue to another problem with confidence. The small things. Okay, so I feel like we focus way too much on the small, insignificant things that mean absolutely nothing to us actually achieving what we want to achieve. It's always like, for me, like editing stuff, it's always like, but this color is not quite right while I'm color grading a film, or like, it's always like something minute where it's like, my voice sounds a little bit dry, I need a little more water in there. That note was almost right, but I feel like, am I hearing a semitone down? I feel like I'm hearing a semitone down. Are y'all hearing a semitone down? So like, it's like always something that's like small, minute, and insignificant that we like hold ourselves up on. And this is one of those times where like, I gotta like isolate myself away from whatever it is. Because 9 times out of 10, when you take a break from whatever it is you're so focused on and that's making you uncomfortable and unconfident about whatever it is you're trying to do or create or whatever, usually when you step away from it for a little while and then come back to it, you're like, I was doing this perfectly the entire time. What was I tripping on? Like, what was I worried about? There was nothing wrong with what I did. It was actually perfect. It was actually better than I thought it was. But because you're so focused on it in the moment, you don't give yourself enough time to recognize that, like, there's really nothing that's wrong with what you're doing. You're doing it just fine. You might be even doing it better than other people around you. You just can't realize it because you're so focused on you and like what you're seeing and not what everyone else might be experiencing outside of just your reality. So small things, you gotta just step back. You gotta step back. And I forgot I had a cut on my hand because it started healing and then I just reopened it. So now I need to put on a band-aid. I will say now that I'm not much of a person to get hurt. I usually have a fairly high pain tolerance. This is really more just to not contaminate the cookies with my blood. because eventually we're gonna have to get in there and like make this dough. And I'm hoping I can do it with one hand, but if I can't, I'm at least covering this finger with a band-aid. All right. So we need hot water. Now, usually they say hot, but I get that whole scalding. Also, look at my little measuring cup. She's so tiny and so cute. It's so cute. I have a bigger one for like bigger stuff like tea and stuff. But this one is like perfect because really all I need is 2 teaspoons of water and then 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I don't really need a lot, but I need something that can be in my microwave and get that hot, so that I can actually do it correctly, because the water has to be hot. And now we're waiting for hot water. Be one of you bucket-headed hoes. Oh wait, no, that's not how it goes. It's a be the last one not to get this dough. No way, be one of you bucket-headed hoes. No way. I'm an embarrassment. In the meantime though, we're pretty close to like being done and like ready to go. So this is probably like the best time for you to go ahead and heat up your oven so that you can go ahead and test your cookies out. What I'm gonna add is not what everyone else adds, but I call them my cookies 4 ways because I put 4 different things in it that I don't have no business putting in here. So usually what I would do is do some caramel, some semi-sweet, some dark chocolate, and some pecans. But I forgot some. I forgot to add dark chocolates to my shopping list, so I just got semi-sweets, and I happened to find some sea salt caramel filled morsels. So I'm gonna try these out, see how that goes, and do these as well, and then see what we get. I think it's gonna be delicious, but what do I know? It's not like I haven't made these delicious ass cookies a bunch of times. As Chris Brown said in the early 2000s, ain't no way, and that was it. Okay, so I have these like little Tupperware ones that usually work fine. So what I do, get a good little fill with the baking soda, not baking powder. They are different. I don't know what the difference is, but they will do different stuff when you cook with them. So you need to get the right one. Ooh, the fizzle. Ooh, Miss Frizzle. So I usually zhuzh it around in here so it's like all dissolved in the water. And then splish, go. Alright, now that that's nice and incorporated, we can put this back. Oh, and I have it in this container because I ripped the box. I don't know why I felt the need to explain that. Y'all don't care. Love that you bucket. Okay. Yeah, so really all we need to do is add a pinch of salt, add flour, and add our little candies and whatnot, and we're good. Do not use this big old thing if you don't know what you're doing. And you shouldn't even trust me to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyways, because I don't know where my little one is. And that's like it, y'all. Don't do no more. Alright, now I do like to use the same cup that I used for the other stuff, just because it's easier to use 1 cup and keep 1 cup clean than use a bunch of different cups for stuff that's basically all the same measurements. So I use a 1/2 cup measure for literally all of this. Rinse it out once after I've done all the sugar and the butter and stuff, and then I use the 1/2 cup for this. But we need 3 cups total of flour. And so what I do when I do this is that I do 2 1/2 cups, which make a whole. Yes, we can do math over here. Not every queer person can do math. I was actually really good at it. And then I do 1 cup like mixed at a time. So I mix it throughout each time I add a cup, so that I'm not doing a whole bunch of flour all at once, because it's gonna fly all over the place like right now. You also want to make sure that as you do this, you make it a little bit faster, a little bit faster, a little bit faster. But at the very last set, which this will be in a second, once it starts to like break apart, like it can't hold itself together, speed it up really fast above the dough so that you can get all the clumps off, but below the rim so you're not splattering all over the walls. And then just start getting in there with your hands, because it's just going to be too thick for pretty much any mixer, unless you got like a standing one to handle. So yeah, don't break your shit. That was the baker. That was the oven. That was the baker. No, that was the oven. So we're right about on time. We're just about to add our fixins, our delicious morsels and such, and then we're ready to go. Now, I'm still gonna add my pecans, and usually what I do, I roast them in a pan with no oil because they're nuts. They make enough oil on their own, and then just a little bit of salt. And the reason I do that is because my mother loves pecans, and she's made me an addict as well, so now I have no choice but to follow in her madness. And usually, for me, about like, what I try to do is like roughly, half a cup of pecans. If you're making them for my mother, if you have to ask if you've put enough in, you need to put some more in, and then when you think, is that enough, put some more in there, and then you might be at how many you actually need. So this would not satisfy my mother, but it will satisfy me, and that's what I'm making it for. So yeah, I have become more confident in cooking these past couple months, mainly because I've been living alone, and so if I don't cook for myself, I will be spending all kinds of money at Wendy's and Taco Bell and have nothing but spare tire to show for it, which is not a problem. Body positivity all the way, but like I want to learn how to cook stuff. Like I want to be able to like be in my house and be like, oh, I got this, that, and the third. I can whip something up, you know? Like I want to be worldly enough with food to do that. And a big part of feeling confident with that has been just diving in and doing it. The first thing that I made in my apartment was these cookies, and obviously it has changed because I did not even know that these caramel filled morsels exist before doing this, but it was one of the first things I ever made in my apartment. So now it's like one of those things where I'm not even really looking at the recipe except for like one part of it, and then I'm ready to go. So your confidence has to come with time. Don't expect to be confident about anything overnight, unless you've done something to make yourself like really confident. Like unless you're like drunk, like there's no reason for you to suddenly be confident in a matter of hours about anything that you're doing, unless it's very simple to you. And even if it's something that you're very confident in, doesn't mean that anybody else is. There are all kinds of things that like I'll talk about with people who have similar degrees as I do, people who have been doing the same kind of work as I am doing now for longer than me, that are completely unaware, and no, I wouldn't even say incapable. I don't think anyone's incapable of anything, but like people who just were unaware or incompetent about maybe not even incompetent, ignorant is the word, ignorant about their ability to do things or how to do things. And honestly, everything that you could ever want to know, you will learn through time if you are willing to put in the energy and are dedicated to the process of figuring it out. Now, the only time you will forever be not confident about stuff is when you suddenly decide to not continue to do it. I think that is always going to be the killer of confidence. You know, they always say like you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Well, you're probably going to miss that first shot regardless. But if you keep shooting, eventually you can be freaking, well, I don't watch basketball. I'm trying to think of something basketball related. I don't even know who's playing. Steph Curry, love Aisha. Steph Curry, you could be Steph Curry if you keep shooting that basketball, but if you just quit the first time you throw that ball, you're gonna never be good enough to be confident about it, let alone good enough to like make it to where you want to go. So like a big part of confidence is just not quitting. It's not giving up, it's being persistent, it's having perseverance, it's knowing that everything is a process, and as long as you are willing to keep driving yourself through the process, eventually you'll get to your destination. I'd probably look like a little gnome with these glasses so low on my face. But honestly, like you can really learn anything, do anything, be anything you want. Like anything that you can put your mind to, you are able to. Sorry, I was looking at my nuts. Anything that you put your mind to, you really can achieve in any way, shape, or form that you want. It's just whether or not you're willing to put in the time to get all the way there. Obviously, there are going to be things where like people just have more advantages than you do. Obviously, if you're living below the poverty line, you're going to have to work really, really hard to get into Harvard if that's what you want. It's not impossible, but it's something that you would have to put an extreme amount of work in. But if that's what you want and you want to feel confident about going to that school and knowing that you're going to make it in, you're going to lay down the groundwork throughout your life to make sure that you get to where you want to go. And obviously there are some times where like people just fall short of their dreams, but honestly I truly believe if it's for you, it's for you, and if it's not, you're not gonna get it. So like if you feel like you've fallen short on something that you thought was your dream, maybe you were dreaming the wrong dream. Not because your dream is invalid or that you shouldn't have dreamed in it, but it may not just be what you really will be happiest doing. Maybe you thought it was what you wanted because it just seemed like the right thing at the time, but like your life has changed and so have you, and so you realize maybe there's something else. I especially see this in like college students. When I was an RA, I would talk to all kinds of people who thought like, oh, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a lawyer, I'm going to be this, that, and the third. And like, you'll change your major 3 freaking times before you even get to your sophomore year. So like, don't assume that like, whatever your dream is unachievable, but also be comfortable with the idea that maybe your dream is not what you think it is, and it's just leading you down the path to find what your actual calling is. So that's a huge part of confidence that I think people don't talk about, is like being confident in the fact that you are just a growing, changing person, and your values, your ideas, and your vision of success will grow and change with you. And you have to kind of like match that energy for the rest of your life. And it's not a bad thing, it's just something that you have to do. I need a couple of more chocolate chips, personally. Personally, can't get enough of the chocolate, honey. Can't get enough. There we go. All right. So now we're gonna dig deep. Get up in here. See, I know it's all mixed when I stop hearing these morsels fall. I know it's all mixed when they're all stuck to dough and that none of them are falling out. Alright, so I think we're ready to go, and I think we're gonna need a special guest to come taste test. Oh, that rhymed, cool. So I'm gonna get these prepped up to go into the oven. I'm gonna call Jasmine to come over, test them out. Gosh, mess. Y'all ain't tell me I was looking like a fool? Okay, well, I'm gonna dust myself off, call Jasmine, put some of these in the oven, and she'll be our first taste tester of the newest recipe. Okay, so I said I was gonna wait for Jasmine, but it's like she's taking too long and I'm hungry. So we're gonna get these cookies now and see how they turned out. Ooh, I left them in there a little too long. Okay, in fairness, I did not put a timer on. And by did not put a timer on, I meant I put one on and then it never started. And so here we are. What the heck is in here? Ha! That's where that piece of broccoli fell when I made broccoli the other day. It fell into my mitt that was hanging on here. That's going in the trash. That's a little embarrassing. Alright, but we've got morsels. Now I will say about these, they don't get very dark. And so you really need to go by the time of like 10 to 12 minutes. If you want them a little firmer, like these will be, because I didn't leave the timer on and I thought I did. That's fine because they really don't get dark and they don't get very hard, and they're always going to be softer in the middle. But my cookies are done. Look at my babies. Oh Jesus Christ. Oh Jesus Christ. Okay. Look at my babies. They're so cute and delectable. Y'all can't have none. Y'all can't have none. Alright, so I'm going to eat these and enjoy myself, but I hope that some of my thoughts on confidence has helped you think of new strategies and plans to make yourself confident. Don't forget to turn off your oven. I am really bad at that. Don't be like me. Don't forget to turn off your oven. But I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll probably film Jasmine's reaction to the cookies when I haven't overcooked them a later date.
You ready for cookies?
Are you ready for cookies, bitch? Yes! So excited. Oh my gosh.
I've been wanting cookies all day.
Oh my God. Jesus.
Jasmine, look what you did.
Okay, were we not just talking about accountability? Y'all about to break my shit. I'm leaving this here. Y'all clearly can't be trusted to sit in frame without dropping something.
Grazie, grazie.
You get one.
Are we ready?
Yeah, eat. This has been recording this entire time. So if you're embarrassed about your life, tea.
Oh man. Oh.
That doesn't even sound realistic.
It like melts in your mouth.
You know what I mean?
Y'all ridiculous.
It's like I'm making love.
To what? Never mind. I was about to say, what are you making love with your mouth? And then I realized I'm a fool.
It is.
Oh man.
That's weird.
It is so fun. No.
So verdict?
Oh my God.
Dap for oh.
That's so good.
Dap dap.
Oh my God. Oh snap, it's falling apart.
Like my first relationship. I still care very deeply for that person. I hope that they succeed in everything they want in life.
That escalated.
It's been great talking to y'all, and I will see y'all sometime next week. Bye, bros. Woo.